are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tony Slug.
And we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and over there is the Tone Capone. We got some splaining to do, Lucy. We've been a little delayed. So we got some catching up to do. We got some new interesting news to go over and some cool albums. The first one we've got is the KRS-One's Return of the Boom Bap and the debut and sadly only release from the Tony Slug Experience. And we'll get into all that later. So before we get into just everything else, I just got to know, Tony, how are you?
Good evening.
What's up?
I am good, man. Today's been a bit of a day. I'm not going to fake the funk. It is what it is. So what do you want to do? How do you want to do this? We've missed everybody for a small period of time. We've both had some things going on.
Yeah.
You've still got things going on. I've still got things going on. How you want to do this? You want to talk about your things first? Because we could talk about albums, but it sounds like we had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. So so we missed last week for a couple myriad of reasons. One of them that I can think of off the top of my head, you had a small water loss there in your recording studio.
We look right back here.
Uh-huh. And so you had some beautiful drying equipment in there that is not conducive to a quiet work environment.
Right.
And then I had the Reverend Horton Heat show later on in that week. Picked up this killer shirt and got a couple autographs, a little single from the Rev. He was kind enough to autograph that for me, and also this it's a single, essentially 2 songs on it with one of my other favorite Texans, Dale Watson, and piano great Jason D. Williams, very reminiscent of Jerry Lee Lewis. So really cool stuff there. And then, yeah, so we was dealing with all that stuff. And then we were rip raring to go. And I woke
we
up
were set
Monday.
to go on Tuesday.
Yep. I woke up Monday and half my face looked like I was Mike Tyson's sparring partner. I'm not usually this fat. Still fat, but not this fat. Got a real bad infection up there in my mouth, and so we're slowly getting that resolved. And yeah, so going from there.
We've had this conversation. We've had this conversation.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Don't worry.
That'll kill anything. Just swish. Just fucking swish, man.
Oh, also, I just wanted to say Rev also autographed Revival for me. One of my favorite.
Did you take that? Did you take that to the show, or did you pick that up?
Yes.
At the show? Okay.
No, I took this to the show.
How do you sit at a show with an album on you, man?
I just took the sleeve with me. I kept the album here, so I look like a little bit of a dork, but I don't care. And this is a beautiful emerald green vinyl.
Very beautiful.
They re-released these not too long ago. So
nice.
So yeah, that was my excuse for the last couple of weeks. What about you?
Obviously, the water damage thing, that's thing's still going on back here. They're going to come in and take care of a few things. Maybe we'll get a new bathroom floor over here in the bathroom. With that being said, I wish it would end because I would like to get all my stuff back in place. Unfortunately, you guys have seen lots of guitars sitting back here, amps that sit off to the side over here, amps that are back there and stuff and whatnot because of all that stuff. And I don't want to get into a long song and dance about this. I have a live rig, a major live rig for if we were to play the Newport or something like that. And then I have a small rig which I call my flight rig. It's just I can pack it up in 10 minutes. Boom, I'm out the door. And unfortunately, I had received some news. You and I had talked about the possibility I had a kidney stone about a couple months ago, and what didn't turn out to be a kidney stone went to the emergency room. I've now come under the understanding that I'm gonna have back problems probably for the rest of my life. And when you're a guy who plays Les Pauls and your amps are all orange equipment, that's a lot on the back. You know what I mean? It's just a lot on the back. So it's kind of got me in a headspace of I've never gotten to use this gear live, and I want to, but I can't physically expect myself to carry it.
You know what the solution is?
Talk to me.
Roadies.
Yeah, this ain't Van Halen, brother.
You can listen.
I'm not hiring a fucking road. I'm not paying somebody to just fucking lift my.
You got kids.
My kids don't love me like that. And they're not into the new band, dude. They're not into me going off and doing doom. If it ain't Suspect Earth, they probably won't show up. They may show up for a Marconi show because it's punk, but
yeah,
you know, other than that, there's nothing I could do about it. But it's got me thinking about a Line 6 Helix LT, and it pretty much has there's a side by side blind comparison out there on the internet of the orange rocker verb that they have inside that, along with an actual orange rocker verb, and me and my guitar player couldn't tell the difference. So
there you go.
I mean, it's very minimal. Unfortunately, it's an expensive piece of equipment, but if I consolidate this gear, I would probably be in a situation where I have a little more room up here, and there's nothing that thing can't do that all that gear together couldn't do. You know what I mean? So it's just it's just unfortunate because I really wanted to. I like the aesthetic. You know what I mean? I like the aesthetic of what a good head on an amp or a cabinet looks like. I think everybody does. But dude, if I'm running two pedal babies, they both say orange on them. They're 100 watts each. I could plug any pedal platform into it, even if I wanted to keep my pedal board and run all my pedals into it. But here's the thing. My pedal board's heavy too.
Yeah,
it's a lot to fucking carry, man. And I'm getting to the point that it's very hard on my back to lift a certain amount of weight without giving me some kind of pull in my back. Now I've been going through the physical therapy. I'm doing better because I'm able to walk. I'm not hurting as much in the morning, but I'm still having moments of where, like, I lifted a case of water the other day. It was not a good time. It turned my back out for the rest of the day. So what do you do? You know, with that being said, I'm just not used to living like this yet. I'm not in a hurry to sell, if that makes sense. But there is one sitting up at Music Around for about $700 on the used, and it looks really nice. Looks like it's in good condition. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet. I've slept on it and thought about it, and was almost going to jump the gun this morning, but that's a conversation for another time. With that being said, just a lot going on, man. I've got some health things going on. You've got some health things going on. I've got some house things going on. I know you got house things going on too. So we're just
never
ends. Never ends.
But we finally came through for you.
We did.
The fans.
So
we love you.
We're going to give you a couple fun facts. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to start pooling episodes most likely from this season or previous season off of Podomatic, so we can start making room for these final episodes, including this big episode we've got coming up for the season finale. I believe this is episode 67 or 68. Which one's this?
This should be 67 because then we got 68 and then season finale will be 69.
Season 8 turned from 70 to 69 because of the delay with what's going on here. We do have two great albums we're going to review tonight. I look forward to hearing Bruce's review on mine, and I know he's looking forward to hearing mine on his. Bruce, I do have a question. Let's let's get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
What you been listening to?
What
you been listening to?
What's going on? Okay, so Last week I was really pushing a lot of the Rev, a lot of Dale Watson. You will eventually get a Dale Watson album, but there's so much good shit. I don't know which of the good shit I want to give you, because it's all Texas style, but it's different. So I'm trying to narrow it down. So a lot of that. Was listening a lot to Slash's new album. That was really cool. That's all I can think of at the moment. And of course, our two albums that we've been uh, chosen to listen to tonight.
Okie dokie, man.
Yeah. What
Me
about you?
personally, I have been jamming the new Heavy Tempo album. I know I checked that out here recently. I was listening to some Ohm this week, and I was jamming a lot of High on Fire this week. Lots of High on Fire this week, man. Just because that show and that experience of getting to meet Matt Pike. I don't know if I got to talk about that yet. Like, if you're a musician, you have your people you look up to. Mega thing for me. Got to see Death to All at the King of Clubs. Freaking phenomenal show. If you get the chance and you see these guys out there, please go see. God
Do it.
bless. They were freaking sick, man. And they're touring with Cryptopsy, who was great, and Morbid Cross, who was also great. I love it when I go to a show and I don't know the openers real well, or even don't know the openers at all, and the whole show is just a great show. And it was a great show. Any of those bands I would see anytime, man, if given the opportunity. They were great. Other than that, I do want to bring this up. So a friend of mine who has been a long time friend of mine
Look at you getting into the
and
album.
a coworker. No,
I'll see it.
This was given to me. So we talked about this, I think yesterday or the day before, but I was given a stack of albums, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these are as original as it gets. But I want to go through some of these real quick. Boom. Aerosmith, Get Your Wings.
Okay.
Pretty freaking cool.
I agree.
Led Zeppelin 2. Nice inlay there.
Look at that beautiful. Look at that beautiful bean footage.
Look at that beautiful bean footage. Foghat, Fool for the City. Don't know. It doesn't open, but there's your back.
All right. Hey, real quick, while you're doing that, what's your favorite Zeppelin album now? Go. Quick.
Dude, give me a second, because I want to say 4.
Okay.
Boston.
Nice Boston.
Don't Look Back.
I
Neil
love
Young
that
and
album.
Crazy Horse. Rust Never Sleeps. And you said you have this album, don't you?
No, I do not have that album. That is my favorite Neil Young album, though.
Oh, is that a hint or a clue?
I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you.
That's a bit of information.
Is it hard to find?
No, I don't.
Then why don't you own it if it's your favorite?
I ain't got around to it.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Because I was waiting on that.
Kansas Overture.
Okay.
Lots of ones with some really cool hits on them, man. REO Speedwagon. This is You Get What You Play For. I believe this is a live album. Pretty cool inlay on this one too.
Okay. Blue.
Yeah, pretty neat there. Loverboy.
Classic album right there.
Get Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't ever a big Loverboy fan. I do like 38 Special in that kind of vein, though.
Yeah.
We talked about this one. Boz Scaggs. You said you're a bit of a Boz Scaggs fan. I'm not familiar with him, but I'm probably going to check the album out. And if it's something I'm not into, I'll probably end up passing it over to you. Gino Vanelli. Not familiar with this cat at all, but the album's called Brother to Brother, and that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jefferson Starship, Winds of Change. I know I'm not a big Starship fan. They had a few hits that I did dig, that everybody obviously
Mhm.
dig. City Boy, never heard of these dudes.
Never heard of them either.
Never heard of them dudes.
That is that's a cool cover.
Dinner at the Ritz is what that album's called. Foreigner's Head Games.
Another classic.
Sammy Hagar, VOA.
You know, I'm not a huge Sammy fan, but that is a cool album.
Jan and Dean. Anthology album.
Surfer Legends.
So this has like a book inlay, man.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, this has a whole
you done fucked it up.
Look, you did a dumb job, dummy. It's all good. But there's that, and then we have Aerosmith, A Night in the Ruts.
Yeah, now I know we were talking about that earlier. You weren't too familiar with a lot of the songs on there, but
Olivia, I'm guessing that's Olivia Newton-John.
That is correct.
Get that mic off my face there. Sorry about that. And then this is Totally Hot. And if you're into 80s chicks, man, that'd probably be hot. Greg Conspiracy Band. I Lost on Jeopardy.
Baby.
So that's who that is. And then I got John Cougar Mellencamp's I actually threw that onto the spinner the other day and cranked it.
Little ditty about Jack and
that's not the song. Man, my favorite song is Crumbling Down, dude.
Crumbling Down's great.
That is
Pink
my hands
Houses
down.
Is great.
Hands down, Crumbling Down, dude. But yeah, that was pretty cool gift. And I'd like to thank my good buddy Bill for those albums, man. He's a bourbon connoisseur like me, and we've known each other for a number of years. So
yep.
With that being said,
real quick, is Authority song on that?
It's up there.
I think it is.
It's up there. I'm not going to grab it.
That's fine.
But yeah, let's
yeah.
Speaking of bourbon and alcohol, man,
yeah,
we're drinking.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a pretty standard go-to. You can go back to any one of the reviews and find this probably. I probably rated this about a 4, somewhere between a 4 and a 5. But the classic Zombie Ice from Three Floyds. Mm-hmm. Trying to clear these things out of my house, man. I got beers of all different varieties laying around the house right now. Somebody just drank one of your last Coors.
Sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. What are you drinking?
Well, let me tell you, I'm not usually a wine drinker, but I'm trying to clear shit out of my house too. And I'm drinking Barefoot's Fruitscato, watermelon Fruitscato, deliciously sweet blend.
For being a cheaper store-bought wine, mm-hmm. I do like Barefoot.
Yeah. No, it's solid. I've been drinking on it all night. It's nice, easy.
What are we giving it? Because that hasn't been rated on the show before.
Yeah, it's not. I'll give it a 4. I'm not a huge wine guy, but it's going down pretty good.
Now, do you have a preference in type of wines that you like?
More of the fruity stuff. I don't like dry shit at all.
I don't like dry stuff at all. I could drink a Merlot or a Cab every once in a while, but my preference, honestly, I like white Zinfandels, man. I am a white Zinfandel guy through and through. They're easy to drink. Yeah,
I couldn't. I haven't drank enough wine to tell you the difference, other than Merlot or whatever. But
Kate likes Moscatos, Pinot Grigios, and rosés, stuff like that. Yeah, sweet drinks in. Any news?
Yeah,
you said you had news tonight, didn't you?
I do. So first off, before we get too far into it, our buddies over, give me a second. I just want to, Fire Breather posted this thing from Suicide Records. They are among one of 16 bands that put together a compilation album, 16 brand new songs and it is all proceeds from the album will go to Suicide Zero,
So
which is,
Matthias and the boys did a song on this album.
yep.
Well, dude, I saw something. I saw you post something about that, but I didn't get to take a read on it.
Yep. So all the proceeds for the album is going to go to Suicide Zero, a Swedish nonprofit organization that's been working towards towards a society without suicide since 2013. So I let Fire Breather know that we would definitely be promoting that, and they gave us a little good deal thing on that, and then Suicide Records as well. Um, thanked us for that. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's funny because I just want to take a second out of my time. We talked at the beginning of the show that today's been a bit of a tough day for me.
Mhm.
I deal with manic depression constantly. I'm not trying to throw that out there and look for sympathy. That's not that. You know what I mean? But this subject matter hits very close to home for both of us. And, I'm just going to leave it sweet and short. If you're feeling like there's no end in sight and the only way out is the end, please reach out to a friend, make contact, reach out to those hotlines and get you some assistance, man. Because you know what? Life's longer than just one day, like suicidal tendencies, Mike Muir says. Life's longer than just one day.
Yep. It ain't the answer.
It's not.
It ain't. So I deal with it on different levels throughout my life and throughout my work career. So it's not the answer. So if you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something. We're all here for you, and there's lots of other people that are here for you too. So
Yeah,
I
and
wanted to get that out there. So
unfortunately, it's tragic that we deal with you know a situation where people are in their life feeling that there's no other way out,
yep.
or you know what, I'm just done. I'm ready to cash my chips in and I'm done. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And I understand those feelings. Um, but yeah, it's a very near and dear thing to us. And thank
So
you
yeah,
guys. Thank you
yeah.
guys and every one of those bands that decided to do something with that and put that out. I wonder what the track is on there. Do you know what the track is?
I don't know what their exact track is, but the album is available for pre-order now. Let's see. The thing here says every 6 hours someone commits suicide in Sweden. That means 4 people voluntarily end their lives every day. It's a Gothenburg-based record label. Suicide Records is releasing this compilation album called "In the Loving Memory of You" on September 10th. So pre-orders right now. So if everyone goes to Suicide Records or goes to Fire Breathers Facebook page, they can get on it to there.
They can find the link there.
They can find the link there. So
Okay.
yep. Yep. It's really cool album work too. It's a 2 LP set. Nice
Is it all
butterflies.
Is it all Swedish artists?
It looks like it.
I wonder if so Monolord is label mates with those cats. So I'm wondering if Monolord got on that album as well.
No, so some of the bands are Grand Cadaver, Skit System, Nivad, Demonic Death Judge, M40, Downfall of Gaia, The Moth Gatherer, Free Dog Den 13E, Beslarv Jilson, Navra Rupta, Fabian Brusk, Jean Music, Rainbird, Olmus, Division of Laura Lee, Guts, and Fire Breather.
Interesting. I'm definitely going to check that out. Dude, I own everything that I can from Fire Breather. They're one of my favorite. Dude, those dudes are so fucking cool.
Yeah,
I hope to get Matthias or one of the boys on the show, man.
I think this is definitely be something to reach out to them for, and have them talk about that for sure.
All right.
Yep.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, let's see. On a little high, happier note, celebrating a birthday today is our good friend Tom Morella. He doesn't know us. He was born today, May 30th, 1964. Let's see. Sun Ra. Do you know who Sun Ra is?
It sounds familiar. I can't put a finger on it though.
He was a supremely influential jazz composer, band leader, synth player, poet, just really cosmic dude out there. He died today in 1993. And let's see, trying to see some other. See, George Harrison released his album "Living in the Material World" on this
Materia.
Material. 1973. He did not write that song, though.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
I know. And then Rolling Stones released their, I think it was their first, I think it was their first album. Yeah, it was the debut American album released in 1964 today.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude. Also, I seen that Wasp, your guys are going out on tour. And they're going to play their first album in its entirety, which apparently is a really big deal for Wasp fans.
I will say this. I've seen Wasp, and I was lucky to see them at the Alrosa Villa before it closed and a sold-out show.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal show. I got to hear a lot of great tunes. Of course, I wouldn't get to hear everything that I love from Wasp, but I got to hear a lot of great tunes. And some that I wasn't readily familiar with at the show because I've skipped over on an album or something like that. Great show. Blackie and the boys still really put on a really good show. I don't know if he's one of those bands that's doing the backing tracks or anything like that. I can say that at the time that I saw him, I don't believe it was happening, and that was a number of years ago. That was, I think, on the Hell Dorado tour, and then, yeah, just that first album. I know why he's doing it. It's to deal with, there's a censorship thing, man. There's this censorship thing going on in the fucking government. We see it on social media and all kinds of shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he stopped playing Fuck Like a Beast, Animal Fuck Like a Beast, for a number of years because he just didn't feel like it was, a time to be playing it or whatever. I mean, whatever his reason was, he just didn't want to do it. Right.
Yeah.
But for him to say, after so many years of us not performing this song, well, we're bringing it back because right now we feel that it's relevant to what's going on with today's world.
Yeah.
To be able to have the freedom of speech to say, hey, we fought for this. They fought the PMRC, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that shit? I mean, I mean, if you were alive during his time frame, Bruce and I were just kids, but our heroes were in court on trial for the records being played backwards and being demonic and telling people to kill themselves and all kinds of shit. And it's like Ozzy was up at bat on all this shit, but fucking D. Snyder went in there and handed them their fucking ass. If you ever get the chance, go watch that video, man. It's a
it's classic.
It's a lesson in an ass ripping fucking up and down like no other. And D will always have the metal community's respect in regards to that.
Yeah. I think they completely underestimated D, and
he walked in there looking
it.
like a fucking the man and said, "Let me read this to you real quick, fuck faces." Like, and he gave it to him, dude. And he gave it to him and was very fucking concise and literate and fucking gave it to him, dude.
Yep.
And yeah, that was some good shit. That's still one of my favorite pieces of video footage to this day. But yeah, I know why they're going back to play the first album, man. That song itself. I got to see him do it. I got to see him do it.
Cool.
I did get to see him do it.
All right. Well, they are playing the old Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville.
They're playing the Grand Ole Opry?
The Ryman Auditorium. The original Grand Ole Opry.
Not where the
yes.
Grand Ole Opry is now.
No,
Okay.
they're
I was
playing.
going to say
they're playing the Mother
they're
Church.
not. They're not going to let Blackie in the circle, dude.
They're in the old circle.
That's crazy. Wasp in Nashville.
Yeah,
In
I'm
the
kinda
Bible Belt.
conflicted.
In the Bible Belt.
Again, if it was anywhere else, I'd be okay with it. But at the Ryman Auditorium,
It's kind of
but
sacred ground.
it
But
is sacred ground.
Blackie's paid his dues.
I get it.
Listen,
but
you listen to me. You
I
may
don't want
not be
any
a
rock
fan.
and roll. I don't want any rock and roll in the
Listen.
rock and rhyme.
I can respect that. I can respect that. I can respect that. But you know what?
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just
Why?
saying
Why? If the Grand Ole Opry has been relocated and this is where they're going to showcase their bigger country and blues, and bluegrass acts,
Yeah.
why not utilize that space?
because utilize it for other country shit. It's still great. They took out a piece of the
Okay,
stage.
so listen. If Wasp was coming through and Nashville was their stop, what venue would you say that they should play?
I don't know enough of the Nashville venues there, but good God.
So let's put it like this. We know for a fact, and this is by way of example, they can sell out the Alrosa. I don't know what capacity is at the Alrosa, but I'd imagine it's pretty, somewhere between 500 and 600, maybe 500 and 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Same for the King of Clubs. I believe King of Clubs is 850 to 1,000. I think if they could maybe
They could sell out 2,000, right? No,
it's really not that big in size. I mean, if you wanted to say, everybody could come to the show and they could also wait outside in the fucking outdoor area. I mean, yeah, they could probably put a little over 11, maybe 1,100, 1,200.
no, but what I'm saying is Wasp can sell out a 2,000 seat venue, right?
I think they could, but I don't think they could in every stop, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. It has to be the right city, right?
It has to.
You're
be
not
going to
go to Des Moines, Iowa, and sell out fucking, their theater.
I mean, if you're going to go to New York and see The Cure, they're going to sell out. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what it is. You know what I mean? If you go down to fucking Savannah, Georgia, it may not be the place for The Cure. You know what I mean?
That ain't gonna be the place for Wasp either, I don't think.
But you know what I'm saying.
But no, I know what
play
exactly.
play the venue you think you can sell out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's where I'm at with it. But
okay.
Good conversation. We're glad to be back to you folks. We will be back next week for sure. And then we're going to be bringing you a season finale real fucking soon, man. We got a really cool special guest for that. Bruce and I have been making moves and contacts left and right. So hopefully next season's episodes, we have a few more special guests on for you. We're really excited because we've talked to some really cool fucking people, man. And there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. With that being said, Bruce, I ain't even gonna pull no punches. You're up first.
Sweet. Well, let me top off my cup. There we go. All right, I finished this bottle of Fruscato. All right, you gave me KRS-One's Return of the Boom Bap. This was his first solo album, but he released a few albums before that. In a group called Boogie Down Productions, and he makes a lot of reference to BDP in a lot of these tracks.
Oh yeah.
So
that's why I first got turned on to him.
Okay, so you were aware of BDP.
all day long. Edutainment's one of my favorite albums.
Really? Okay.
That's one. That's one that's got "Love's Gonna Get You," and it's got Beef on it. Beef is a
Okay.
freaking crazy good track.
Okay. So, how did you come about this particular album? Return to the Boom Bap.
So
Because
I
this
don't.
was never in my wheelhouse.
So
But
I probably am a little more versed in the R&B and hip hop world than you. You and I
that
both
is
know
correct.
that.
Yep.
You and I both know that. There's no mistaking that. That is a little more of my expertise, and I'm not an expert. Let me make that perfectly fucking clear. However, I am a fan. I'm a I'm a big fan of any rap and hip hop, R&B before say 2000.
Yeah.
I don't keep up much with it. The most recent guy I really dig as of recently is a guy by the name of The Weeknd, and I gave you one of his albums here in the past. Um, but I got turned on to BDP from watching the old fucking MTV videos, and "Love's Gonna Get You" came up, and I just knew listening to this guy rhyme and the beat and everything that was going on at the time. I knew that this guy was on a different level of thinking than most of the guys out there, because a lot of guys out there were, you know, they were using their First Amendment. You know what I mean? To
Mm-hmm.
be able to the freedom of speech to say what they wanted to say, and we ended up with a lot of outlandish, crazy sexual exploitation and violent and vulgar stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's none of the stuff that I didn't dig. I love all of it. Don't get me wrong,
That
but
was more my forte.
and mine too. NWA, Ghetto Boys. These guys are my favorites. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love these dudes. But there's just like in metal and every other form of music, man. There's these different freaking genres, and you have these guys who I like to refer to KRS-One as one of those hip hop artists and rappers. He's a real MC. They don't make them like that no more. I would put KRS-One up against any rapper credible today. He will
Hmm.
destroy them. He will fucking destroy them because he's on a whole different level with this fucking thinking. If you gave the album a couple listens, I know there's shit that you had to catch that went go, holy shit, wow, what a bar. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? What a fucking bar. Because while it may have just, initially when you listen to it, it sounds like it rhymed, but there was a reason why that rhyme was there. And it was put there with an intelligent mode, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. And so I got turned on to BDP very early. And when I listen to a band, I always find myself in a situation at some point in time where after 5, 10 years or so, I'll go back and start checking out what I've missed through the catalog. And I've just KRS-One's just been one of those hip hop artists I've always followed, and I will always hold in the highest esteem as far as one of the greatest he in my personal opinion. A lot of people are going to say fucking Eminem or fucking Tupac or fucking Biggie and shit like that. When I think of the goats, KRS-One, dude. He's just on a different level of fucking intelligence with his rap, dude. And there's really good intelligent rappers out there that are, that kind of go a little deeper than he does, but he's and then he has his political views, right?
Yeah.
So and that's okay, but that's his thing, and
Right.
he's not wrong. It's just his view, you know what I mean? And I God bless, man. The dude spits fire, dude. He just spits fire to me, man. Like I can listen to that album that I handed you. I could spin that fucker all day long, dude.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I would say um the lyrical content in this was really insightful. It was really autobiographical, and there were some very poignant moments in a lot of these songs. Um,
And it's going to strike a nerve. And good music,
Yeah, and it's
good music will strike a nerve, dude.
yeah, and there are some songs on here that I completely disagree with his
Okay.
point of view. I appreciate his point of view. I understand where he's coming from. I just don't agree with it. And that's okay.
It doesn't mean it's a bad song.
No, it's just something I'm probably not going to listen to a whole lot. But I respect the hell out of it. So,
Yeah.
anyway, this album peaked at number 37 on the Billboard 200 and number 5 on hip hop albums, top
Nice.
R&B hip hop albums. So, there's 2 singles that came out of this, Out of Here and Sound of the Police. You know, it's kind of weird, and I'll get into it here in just a little bit. There could have been a couple other singles that I would have picked out over Sound of the Police myself.
And you
Uh,
know what Sound of the Police was?
Hmm.
It was the hook. Whoop whoop! It's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop! It was the hook. That was.
But
The
that's
hook.
the start of the song. That's the thing, you know. Anyway, interesting note here: P is Still Free appeared on the Menace to Society soundtrack, and it was labeled as a BDP sound or a BDP track. And Black Cop was originally released as a 12-inch single and was on the CB4 soundtrack, also labeled as a BDP track.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this bad boy was released September 28th, 1993. So we were just
juniors.
babes. Yeah.
We were juniors.
Yep. Anyway, let's see. KRS-One Attacks. First track on this thing. What a smooth opener. It's not a lyrically deep song at all. Just a nice intro to it. I gave it an A. It's not a standout track. It's a nice opener. This whole album bleeds New York, the New York rap vibe at the time.
And for those that are
And
watching,
he's from New York. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those that are watching, just for the record, for the time frame, you will always hear me say, I'm a bigger New York style fan than West Coast style. Always
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah, West Coast really, I would say later in the 90s, it really pumped up their game.
Well, they did. And, you know, but at the end of the day, if we want to talk about what was going on around that time on the West Coast, you've got everything that was going on with the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
You've got things that were going on with Biggie. You've got things that were, I think Tupac may have been out east at that point in time.
Well, in 93, you had Easy and NWA.
Well,
that was all West Coast.
All West Coast. Trust me, dude.
So
I mean,
I'm still picking West Coast.
I would say from the year 90 to the year 96 were some of the most formidable years of hip hop.
Yes. Yes.
Undisputedly.
From a mainstream perspective, especially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
80s was pretty impactful because it was the birth of hip hop, 70s and 80s, late 70s into the 80s. And I could just remember, man, like, one of the big things is like we would be listening to shit like Salt and Pepper, and there was some undertones there, but Tone Loc was all over the radio. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was all over the radio. But then all of a sudden you heard, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck them. And it was like, what the hell? This is, whoa, yeah, fuck them, I'll say fuck them too.
Or Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, again, I remember Two Live Crew when they came out when I was in like 6th, 7th grade.
What's your favorite Two Live Crew jam?
I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but yeah.
Mine is Welcome to the fuck shop. Yeah. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry. We got
you're good.
sidetracked.
Hold on. Yep. So yeah, KRS-One Attacks, smooth opener, really cool vibe to it. Really sets the tone for the album. Gave it an A. Then here comes the first single, Out of Here. Great lyrics talking about how he and Scott LaRock got started and really, came up in the ranks, addressed Scott's death and how that really messed with him. Solid, great single. Just a really great song. I gave that an A as well. So here's my first hiccup that I had. Black Cop. I disagree with his perspective deeply, but I appreciate his perspective.
Yeah. It's his truth.
I hate that. I hate that term.
I understand. I listen.
That's
I
his point
that.
of view.
But
that was his point of view.
Well, here's the thing, dude.
It's not a truth. It's a point of view.
At the end of the day, we don't live in other people's bodies. We don't experience their experiences.
Right. That's why it's their point of view.
Right.
Anyway.
Don't touch my butthole.
Yeah. I ended up giving it a B. Okay. The lyrics were good. I just could not agree.
It's one of those songs that could strike a nerve, man.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Let's see. Mortal Thought. I couldn't read my writing there for a second. Mortal Thought. Cool Jamaican little vibe to it. And again, that's part of that early New York fucking rap scene. Because, it was all part of that.
Like
it's
Jamaica
all part
Queens.
of those neighborhoods. Yeah.
Jamaica Queens, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I love the line. I never want money if my lyrics are whack. So I must rock the mic. I love that. Like, that's integrity, like right there.
Yeah.
Like, lyrics these days, rap lyrics these days, it's like, I'm going to get mine and I don't give a fuck, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's like, nah, I got to work on my craft. I'm earning my money.
Yeah.
I want to be worth the fucking money. I love that line. So I gave that an A. My favorite track on the album, coming up right here, should have been a single. Don't know why it wasn't a single. A++ all fucking day long. I can't wake up. Catchy as a motherfucker. Lots of name dropping in this. Catchy as shit. Sing me the chorus to it, because I can't.
Dude, it's been a while. I gave you the album. It's been so come on. It's been a while for me.
I'm a blunt, I'm a smoke, and I can't wake up. Oh, dude. So good. Yeah. So good.
Dude, I told you this album's solid as fuck, dude.
No, I don't, for the life of me, I don't know why that wasn't a fucking single. Anyway, so.
No, good tune.
Let's see. Next is Slap Them Up. It has that kind of shaggy It Wasn't Me beginning. To me, that's what I'd like. It kind of picked, like, maybe that's where Shaggy picked up his kind of vibe for It Wasn't Me.
Yeah.
It was fine. I gave it a B.
Skippable or not skippable?
Yeah. I guess skippable, but like, okay. I'm not going to actively skip it. You know what I mean? Like,
if it's spinning, it's spinning.
Yeah, if it's spinning, but like, if I want to get to, some other shit like Sound of the Police. Whoop whoop.
It's a jam, dude. It's catchy, dude. And yeah, it's a jam, dude.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop. And again, this is where I actually like this song a lot better than Black Cop.
Yeah.
But the line "overseer to officer,"
That's my favorite part of
Ooh,
this, dude. That's my favorite part of the
yeah,
song. And that's that shit that can
yep,
strike a motherfucking nerve, dude. And I'm gonna tell you, I love that song. I absolutely, that's one of my favorite tracks on the whole fucking album. And I can understand why it was a single because A, it's catchy, and B, there's some controversial shit there, man. And
yeah,
controversy sells.
yeah. And KRS-One, he is an activist. He's
Mhm.
an active vegan. He's on his own wavelength, like you were saying. So if someone actually tries to listen to this album, I mean, that's that's his thing.
Yeah,
It's thought provoking.
he
So,
is.
yep,
And dude, and that's what I love about him, man. Is like it takes just to listen. Just to listen, man. The guy's got something to say, and he's saying it with intelligence.
yep, yep. I agree.
And
Uh,
and, and he's very
yeah.
skilled at his
No,
craft.
his flow was really, really nice.
Dude, there was a
Super unique.
I think there was a fucking freestyle that he just recently released just randomly on the internet here in the
Hmm.
last year or two. And I just sit there and go, yeah, he's still in fucking touchable.
Okay,
Yeah, just like he's still fucking untouchable. He's still on top of his game, and he spits more fire than anybody that's out there on relevant today, dude.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Next up, I had Mad Crew. It's kind of a forgettable track to me. I didn't really get into it. I ended up giving it a B because again, I love that early '90s, late '80s, early '90s sound that rap had.
Yeah,
So the sound was there, um, but yeah, I didn't connect to it at all.
that's fine.
Next up was eh. I
Okay,
put it so it's another skippable. Let's see what's next is Brown Skin Woman, A+.
really
That was good. I really like that. More Rasta flavor and deep lyrics.
nice
Yep, I love the shit out of that. That was really good. Return to the Boom Bop.
banger,
Catchy. Yeah. See, I gave it a B.
fucking banger, dude. Get out
I
of here.
I did. I was like, it's catchy, but it's not great.
Ah, that's a fucking banger. Get out of here.
Nah,
I'm
it
gonna
wasn't a banger.
choke you in the face.
Yep. Uh, P is still free. A+. Fucking great lyrics on that shit. Great lyrics. Uh, the girlies is free because the crack costs money. Such a great. He paints such a great story
Yeah,
in that whole thing. So, great lyrics. Stop fronting again. It's a B. Take it or leave it. And then finally, higher ground. Love the old school soul feel that it had with it. Um, and I love the line, if you trust Jesus, why do you vote for demons? Love it. So A+.
sweet,
I love that. Uh
sweet. Sounds like you had a good time with the album.
I did, and it did grow on me a little bit. It did grow on me. So, and I was kind of telling you this, off air. For me, when I listen to that old school rap now, it's more of an emotional, takes me back to when I was a kid because that was some of the shit I was listening to as a kid.
Yeah,
With KRS-One, because I wasn't listening to him specifically at that time, I didn't have that emotional connection with him. So it wasn't as exciting.
but it was
And
but it was familiar enough that it was like
yes,
shaking hands with an associate of an old friend.
yes, like okay,
I had that happen today.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's cool. Um, so I was originally going to give this thing like a 7 because I'm like, dude, it's good, but it's not where I'm really at right now,
Yeah.
and I don't have the emotional bond. But again, I keep listening to this thing. I'm like, yeah, it
God,
bumped
it's
it up.
fucking, it's good, dude.
It's solid, man.
It's a solid
can't-
fucking album, man.
You know, I can't really shit on it. I can't really shit it on at all. So I ended up giving it 8.5.
Nice. I would give it a 9. It's a 9 for me. It's a classic hip hop album that stays in
Yeah.
my rotation when I'm listening to hip hop, dude.
See, it's probably not gonna make my regular rotation, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
And again, because the reason why it's not in my regular rotation, I didn't grow up with him.
Yeah. Let me just say one thing to wrap up your review. When you get time, I'm 100% sure you growing up in the world and seeing the things that I saw and knowing the things that I know. You know, if I sat there and said the Humpty Dance, of course you're going to know it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do me a favor. When we get off the air, write this down. Look up the video for BDP's Love's Going to Get You. I am almost 110% positive if you can dig through your memory banks, you're going to remember the song. And the video is classic, about as cheap footage as you can get.
Hell yeah.
Fucking banger all day long. Low budget as fuck, but gets the message across. And that's
Yeah.
what that's what turned me on to BDP and eventually led me to my journey with KRS-One.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, hip hop and soul, R&B, stuff like that. I love a lot of that shit, man. And but if it was, you know, up to a point, up to about 2000, you know, I can't follow everybody. I can't listen to all the metal. I can't listen. And a lot of the hip hop that's out there right now, man, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. There's different divisions of hip hop going on. There's the whole hip hop thing going on.
Ugh.
There's, I can't do it. It's not, the mumble rap shit doesn't work for me. I hate anything with auto tune in it. I absolutely hate the sound of auto tune. It's just an annoying fucking sound to me. And if you use it, fine, great. That's up to you, man. It's not a sound that I enjoy. And I'm very picky about sounds that I enjoy. That's why I'm not a Doors fan. I don't like the sound of the
You
organ.
shut your whore mouth.
I don't, dude. Listen, I know it's a big integral part of their sound, but I do not like a lot of the organ in their music.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Kind of critical.
And it's very integral to their music, but it's the one thing that kind of just I'm not a fan of. You know what I mean? And it's sad because I think there's a lot more stuff that I could really love from the Doors if I didn't have this asphyxiation that I don't believe an organ belonged there. You know what I mean? But it works for them. I respect what they brought to the game, and I respect, you know, the being pioneers of who they are. But I'm just not a fan, man. And it's crazy because I'm a Danzig fan, and it's crazy because I'm a fucking Cult fan. And both those lead singers sound like fucking Morrison to some degree. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think Ian Asbury actually did some work with the Doors at one point.
Yeah, it's called The Doors of the 20th Century.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, it has nothing to do with Jim Morrison's voice. It has everything to do with the fucking the like, for
Ray
example,
Manzarek. Yeah.
yeah, and it's nothing against Ray Manzarek. I know he's a great player. It's just not the sound for me. Like, perfect example. The first Doors song I ever heard, Riders on the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Great song. I know what the song's about. I get it. But you hear that.
Now that's a piano. Yeah.
I
You don't like that.
and then there are certain things in other songs that I really don't enjoy. I don't enjoy LA Woman. LA Woman. LA Woman. Or what is it? Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. And plus, I have a bit of an issue with, you know, Jim Morrison not singing but being an asshole. He is the Axl Rose of that time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no disrespect to Axl. Axl had reasons to be the way he wanted to be. You know, he had to.
Well,
Yeah, there's an image going on, a lot of drinking and drugs going on. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm not making excuses for Axl. He was downright asshole at times. Danzig's an asshole. Don't want pictures taken of him, jumps out in crowds trying to fight people just the same. You know. So
Yeah.
it's stupid. It's stupid.
Yep.
Anyways, on
Yeah.
to my album review. And you gave the classic KRS-One Return of the Boom Bap at 8.5. Big
That's right.
Tone over here. It's a classic hip hop album for him. It's a
Yep.
solid 9-banger for me all day.
There you go.
I had Tony Slug, the Tony Slug Experience, as Bruce just had up there on the screen. I want to say my pieces that I have in regards to this album. We have 12 tracks. It seems that this album was recently released in the last number of years, if not this past year.
Yeah, it was released just like a month ago.
I don't know what to say about this album other than one thing. If you're a fan of punk or hard rock, if you're a fan of really cool guitar licks, really punky, poppy style stuff, also some scathing stuff in there a little bit, this is an album for you. 12 tracks, different vocalist, great guitar work were my top notes on this. Okay. I'm going to give you my final notes at the end, but let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this Tony Slug Experience. Track number 1 was Road Goat. Good opener, upbeat, pop punky, sets the tone for the album, very clear. I gave that an A. Track number 2, If I Make the Gates. I gave that an A+. Groovy, driving solo. Exclamation point on that solo. Fucking phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. Maybe it's not your thing, but it definitely was mine. Track number 3, I'll Never Forget. This is my first B on the album. Groovy, or no, in your face vocals is something I could say about this song. And I like that. I do not believe this was a skippable track. Track number 4, Record Ball. I went to give this a B as I was listening to it. And I changed it to an A. Vocals kill it with the fast pace. Absolutely love this. I ended up giving it an A. Track number 5, Leave You. This is probably my favorite track on the whole album. I gave this an A+, and I gave it a asterisk because it is probably my favorite track on the album. It's definitely one of them, but this is probably my favorite track on the album. Love the vocals, almost hard rock sound. One of the things I wanted to point out here is if you get the chance, go and listen to a band called Holland. And they had a song called Gotta Run. And Michelangelo Badio played on that at a young age. And this gave me that Gotta Run feel. It just kind of gave me that kind of feel. Track number 6, Smile. I gave this an A+ as well. Killer female vocals. Once again, another hard rock sounding sound. So we got some variety of punk and hard rock going on here.
Yeah.
Now, Living on Borrowed Time. I gave this an A. This is another driving song with a killer solo. Like this is an ongoing thing. Like it's really like, if guitars are your thing, you got to check this album out. If listen to different vocalists play around with another guitar player, you got to check this thing out, man. It's really, really fucking cool. Someone to Blame. I gave this an A+ with a asterisk. I said this is a standout track, and it reminded me of Jennifer Finch from L7.
She might have been on that.
Or that's I mean, no, that's what I may have wrote, that she was
Okay.
on that. And that and I thought how really fucking cool. And I didn't know that before I had listened to it. What a great song. And that was the other standout major track for me.
Yeah.
Track number 9, Spy Satellite. I gave this a B. It's a cool tune, not skippable. Um, Track number 10 was Dumb Things. I love the vocals and the riff, but I end up giving it a B. It's not skippable. It's good. It's just not standout. You know what I mean? Or as I like it as much as other songs. Um, Puppet Smut. I said fun, catchy, fast punk tune. And that's exactly what this is. Little different. And I dig that. So I gave it an
It's
A.
Jello.
Yeah,
It's fucking Jello. What are you gonna do?
I gave it an A. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And then track number 12, Loaded. I gave this an A plus and gave it a great closer. This is a phenomenal fucking closer on this album. And the funny thing about it is I don't know how familiar you are with this album, how many times you've listened to it, but listening to that track, it really kind of gave me 18 feels from Alice
Mm-hmm.
Cooper.
Yep. Yep.
Really kind of felt like a eight. I'm 18, like you could have dropped that in anywhere. And I really like that about the song. And familiarity can do that to somebody. So I gave it an A plus as well. Um, Closing notes: timeless punk hard rock sounds, awesome use of so many talents, especially vocalist. Especially, I can't tell you how refreshing it is to hear an album working with, mainly a guy who's probably composed or put together most of the shit, or worked with everybody that he's working with on the song to compose the shit. This is a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind about that. And who passed this album to us? So this came from Wes.
No, this one did not come from Wes. I actually, um, I was listening to the Dead Kennedys, and like it came up as a suggestion on Spotify, which was Road Goat, which was the first single, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is fucking cool!" And so, like, I kept looking out for more stuff, and then Record Ball was the second single, and I just fell in love with that song too. And then finally, the whole album came out. I don't know, like I said, maybe a month or two ago, and no, I love this fucking album.
Okay.
So it's just for me listening to Dead Kennedys.
Okay. And it's just a piece of a little twist off the branch, or
Yep.
a little dive over this rabbit hole over here.
Right, because Jello is part of it. So
Phenomenal find.
yeah.
Phenomenal find. Phenomenal album. Of 12 tracks, everything got an A, but 1,
2.
2, 3. Of 12 tracks, everything got an A or A plus, but 3. I'm giving this album a 9. It's a solid fucking 9, man.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
It's a solid 9. And here's the thing: the only reason I give it a 9 is because of the 12 tracks. That's 1/4 of the album. You know, three times
I get
four, three times
nah,
four is 12,
sure.
or one.
No.
1/3 of the album.
Yep.
Yeah, 1/3 of the album were, you know, almost 1/3 of the album was a B,
Yeah.
and they weren't skippable. I could drop the album in and listen to it at any time. It's a 9.
Yeah.
It's a 9. I'm really sad to hear there's nothing else.
Yeah, and
I'm really
so
sad to hear there's nothing else, dude.
yeah, so kind of the little bit of history. So when I was trying to look these guys up, I thought it was a new band. I'd never heard of Tony Slug or this band or nothing. And come to find out, he's been around since like the like the late 70s and 80s over there in like Denmark or Dutch, you know.
Yeah.
And he's been in lots of different bands. Um, with BGK, Love Slug, the Nitwits, and Hydromatics.
Yeah.
And then throughout the years, he's just kind of grown this fan base and these people. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna record an album with all these people. And it took about 2 years. Had sessions in Europe and the United States. But most of it was recorded in Tony's home in Amsterdam. And yeah,
It's a good
and,
album.
yep.
If punk
And he passed away from cancer, stomach cancer,
that's horrible to hear.
right before the album dropped.
I'm
Yeah,
it's sad.
yep,
Because this is a phenomenal piece of work.
yep. And they are also working on a documentary on him too, so that should be coming out here soon as
Keep
well.
me posted on that. He
I
did
will.
seem like an interesting character, dude. And I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a solid 9 from me, man. What would you give the album?
I'm right with you. I'm fluctuating between a 9, 9.5.
Yeah.
This is what I want out of a fucking rock album or a punk album, because it's not strictly punk, it's not strictly rock. It's a good fucking rock and roll album.
It's a good fucking album, man. And I like,
this is what I want.
I here's the thing. I always have my reservations going into anything. And looking at the album of this, I was just like, oh man, this is some poorly produced fucking horrible fucking, maybe it's raw and I'm going to love it. Maybe it's raw, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But I spun that shit, man, and was just like, what a pleasant fucking surprise. Yeah, solid 9, man. So those are the reviews.
Yeah.
And we've drank, I think, all the brews.
I did.
With that being said, this is going to be a long episode, but we're glad to be back. We'll see you guys next week. Bruce, I think it's time to start handing off some albums. You ready?
Yeah.
What do you got?
All right. So this album was actually brought to our friend West Beach from the Plasmatics. He first introduced us to this album when he was on our show, and he let us know that he wrote a song and played on this song with Plasmatics drummer TC Tolliver, Wax Fruit. Bloody F Mess, the artist that he worked with, was kind enough to send us a copy of his latest CD, Bloody F Mess, Dark Days Unfazed.
Nice.
Yep. So that is the album I'm giving you. And
Bloody Mess.
Bloody F Mess.
Bloody F Mess.
Yep.
And the name of the song or an album?
Dark Days, DAZE, Unfazed.
And is this available on the tube?
It is.
How's Unfazed spelled?
UNFAZED.
I'm going to look forward to this.
Yeah. And he also included a couple of buttons as well.
Huh. That's cool, man.
Yeah, dude.
If I dig it, I'll go ahead and order it.
You totally should. Totally should.
If I dig it, I'll order it. I don't buy shit that I don't enjoy.
Well, if you don't enjoy this, you ain't got a
I bought the Thinky Flesh album, clown.
I know. So therefore,
calm your fucking shit. If I see that Tony Slug album, I may grab that bitch because that's a nice piece.
Yeah, you got to order it, and I'm gonna try to order that.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
So do you own it?
What?
The Tony Slug album?
No. I gotta try to order it.
What did you have in your hand there a minute ago?
This was the Bloody F Mess.
No,
CD.
the one you held up at the show. You didn't have a picture of that?
Oh yeah, I printed off a picture of it.
Oh, you printed off a picture of it. Okay. I thought you had the actual album cover.
I might just hang that up or something. I like that. I love that album.
So anyway. I get for next week Bloody F Mess
Mhm.
Dark Days Unfazed.
Yep,
And
which
you,
was
sir,
really, yeah, it's really going to tie in well to um, our episode with Wes on our season finale.
okay. So,
Okay.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Have you figured out who I'm giving you?
Not a clue.
I gave you clues earlier.
Wasn't paying attention.
This album was released just last week, May 24th.
Ooh.
From a longtime artist I have enjoyed. My wife absolutely loves this man.
Mm-hmm.
You are getting the latest release from Lenny Kravitz.
Really?
Really, really. Blue Electric Light. I've gotten to listen to this thing a few times over the last weekend, and let me tell you, Lenny's still fucking swinging for the fences, and I can still drop a Lenny Kravitz album in any day of the week and enjoy it all the way through.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I didn't even know he put out an album. That's really
yep,
cool.
just dropped last week, Blue Electric Light. I was listening to a little bit more of it today before we got into the show, and I was like, yeah, man, fuck that. It's the man still fucking got it. Still vocally, he's got it. Still guitar wise, he's got it, man. He's still putting together some really nice tunes, dude. So
Sweet.
please enjoy that album. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please keep in mind, folks, if you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell down there below. Also, we will start moving episodes very shortly. It could happen tonight, could happen in the next episode. We're going to start moving some episodes off of Podomatic so we can keep things in rotation. If you haven't had a chance to listen to them, go ahead and download them because once they're gone, I don't know where they're going to end up. We haven't determined that yet. Bruce and I need to sit down and talk about it, but we've been very busy. That's why we haven't seen you for the last week and even missed this week's Tuesday. So, to wrap this up, that's Bruce. I'm Tone. Bruce, you got any final words for us tonight?
I do.
I sure was hoping you did because I didn't think you did them last time.
No, because you cut me off, fucker.
Don't be a fucker.
All right. Here's what the East and the West have in common. Both have black cops and cars profiling. Hardcore kids in the West got stress. In the East, we are chased by the same black beast. The black cop is the only real obstacle. Black slave turned black cop is not logical, but very psychological. Haven't you heard? It's the black cop killing black kids in Johannesburg.
Awareness. Awareness.
What's going on?
Awareness, brother. That's the man. But you enjoyed the album enough to fucking ring that fucker at an 8.5.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, at an 8.5, I would be investigating the artist a little bit more. That's just me. Anything over an 8 gets an artist investigation anymore if there's anything more available. Oh, and just real quick, if by chance a special someone out there is watching, we've checked out the album. You've gotten our personal review directly from us. I don't know if Bruce gave you a number, but I gave you mine. We just want to say thank you for taking the time to share that with us.
Dude.
You know who you are, dude. Well, dudes.
Dudes? Yeah, plural.
All right, fellas. We'll see you guys next time around. I'm Tone.
I'm Bruce.
We're Hooked on Sonics. See ya.
See ya.